Manuel Charr wins a comfortable 10-round decision over the Pie, Alex Leapai. You fighting pies and all that. It was a pretty dull fight, really. Leapai tried his crude best, as he always does. Very, very crude fighter. Probably one of the most limited heavyweight contenders I've ever seen in my life. And he may not be considered a contender anymore, but a couple fights back, obviously, when he fought Klitschko, he was a contender. And I've seen very few guys, if anyone, more limited than this guy in the heavyweight division in terms of contenders. And Manuel Charr just kept his distance. He was the taller fighter, used his jab, just basic boxing, and just outboxed Leapai. To be fair to Leapai, though, he did take the fight apparently on 3 weeks' notice, something like that. But I really don't think it would have made much difference because the guy is just so crude. He's so untalented, really. All he is just a big, strong guy who just throws roundhouse punches. That's all he does. And Charr was able to pick him off pretty easily. So we'll see where Charr goes from here. He's obviously had wins over Kevin Johnson in recent times and now Alex Leapai. And there's talk about him being a possible opponent for someone like David Price or Anthony Joshua. I think that would be the logical step forward for Anthony Joshua. Assuming he gets past Kevin Johnson and does so in good fashion, I think Manuel Charr would be the way I would go if I was managing Joshua's career, because I don't think personally that you need to put him in there with a David Price or a Dillian Whyte right now if I was managing him. And people are going to scoff at that and say, oh, come on, Hatman, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like a guy who didn't have that many amateur fights like Joshua needs to be brought on in a steady curve. I don't like when fighters as inexperienced as that take massive leaps up, because a David Price from a Kevin Johnson, to me, that's a pretty big leap. David Price can knock you out. I know he's got chin problems and stamina problems and maybe heart problems himself, but he's a very big man. And compared to Kevin Johnson, he is far more dangerous. And a Dillian Whyte is also far more dangerous than a Kevin Johnson. But then again, I'm not in the Joshua camp. I don't see what he does in sparring. Maybe he is ready for a massive leap up to the level of Dillian Whyte or David Price. But me personally, I think Manuel Charr would be a good opponent for him. I think Charr is a bit dangerous. He's a bit rough and ready, but I think that would be the logical step up because it's a guy who's beat Johnson just like he has. So yeah, I think that's where Manuel Charr's likely to go. But you never know. Manuel Charr seems to, he was kind of socializing there at ringside after his fight, and he stayed to watch the Povetkin versus Perez fight. And he was talking to, some of the big men there at ringside. So you never know. Maybe he'll get. And in fact, the Box Nation commentators said that it's unlikely that Charr would want to step in the ring with Povetkin again. But to be honest with you, I think Charr is a sandwich short of a picnic. Without being disrespectful, I think the guy's a bit crazy. And I actually think he would take a Povetkin rematch. If that was offered to him, maybe Povetkin wants to stay busy fight or whatever. I think he'd take it. And I forgot to mention the highlight of this fight between Manuel Charr and Alex Leapai was when Manuel Charr actually did a cartwheel back to his corner at the end of one of the rounds. And he's not exactly the most athletic guy in the world. He did a cartwheel. This is not after the fight. This is during the fight at the end of one of the rounds. This guy did a cartwheel back to his corner, people. He's not the full deck. He ain't playing with a full deck, this guy. So, and I actually quite like him. He's a character. He's funny. And he always tries his best in the ring, even if he don't always try his best in the gym. So we'll see where Manuel Charr goes from here. Let me know how you felt about the performance and, yeah, everything I talked about in the video. It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.